In September 1981, Linda Slaten was found dead in her Lakeland, Florida apartment by her two sons, Tim and Jeff. She was discovered beaten, partially naked, and with a metal hanger around her neck.
I saw my mom's bloody body with a coat hanger around her neck.
You can't unsee that.
No. And I still see it.
The case raised questions about who could have committed such a heinous crime and whether it was a targeted attack or a random act of violence. Welcome back to Mystique Quest, where we shed light on under-the-radar cases across the country. Today, we're looking into the case of Linda Slaten, a case so twisted you'll be shocked when you find out who killed her. So, without further delay, let's get started. Lakeland, Florida was a thriving city with close-knit families residing in duplexes. Linda and her sons had recently moved there from Alabama, and the motive behind her murder remained a mystery. Linda had endured an abusive marriage to Frank Slaten, the father of her two sons, before finally divorcing him in 1974. As a single mother, Linda worked hard to support her family but faced financial limitations. Her sons relied on shared rides or walking to get around, and their football coach, known as Coach Joe, often provided transportation to and from football practice. On the day of the murder, Linda's sister, Judy, discovered her lifeless body in the apartment. The crime scene revealed that Linda had been strangled with a wire hanger, possibly after being sexually assaulted. The police found a palm print on the bedroom windowsill, which didn't match Linda's, making it a crucial piece of evidence. However, forensic DNA analysis wasn't available at the time, so investigators had to explore all possible suspects, starting with Linda's ex-husband Frank. However, when the officials looked into his whereabouts the night Linda was killed, they found that he was at home in Alabama and was ruled out. Linda's elder son Jeff also became a suspect due to a heated argument they had the night before her death. However, Jeff passed polygraph tests, clearing him of suspicion. Linda's boyfriend at the time was investigated, but was ultimately ruled out as a suspect. A tip received in September 2001 led the police to a potential suspect named Jimmy Ulmer. He had a criminal history involving a similar crime and had resided in the same apartment complex as Linda during the murder. However, Jimmy had died while the investigation was going on, and the police needed to dig up the body for a DNA match to confirm his involvement. Eventually, Jimmy's mother allowed a DNA test, but the results did not match the evidence at the crime scene. The investigation into Linda's murder stalled, leaving her tragic, difficult life unresolved. Her sons, Tim and Jeff, were left without answers as the case went cold, and the perpetrator remained unidentified. The brothers adjusted to the new life without their mother, finding support in their grandparents and gradually returning to their regular routines. Coach Joe continued providing transportation for football practices. As years went by, they grew into caring and loving individuals with their own families. The case of their mother's murder remained unsolved for 17 years until Detective Brad Grace takes over the investigation. He discovered unidentified DNA from the crime scene collected back in 1981 and submitted it for testing, hoping to find a match. The DNA experts managed to break down and develop a full DNA profile of Linda Slaten's unknown killer. The brothers provided their DNA samples, but neither of them were a match. Further investigation cleared Frank Slaten, their father, who by this time had given up drinking.
All you need is a DNA match.
A hit. That's all I need is a hit in the data.
The unknown DNA profile was then submitted to the FBI's National DNA Database in 2005, where it was continually cross-referenced with newly submitted DNA samples. Grace eliminated dozens of suspects through the course of his investigation using DNA evidence and failed to find any match. He later retired in 2015, leaving the case in hands of detectives Tommy Hathcock and Russell Hurley. Detective Tammy learned 3 years into the investigation that groundbreaking technology had been developed that could help in identifying any unidentifiable DNA. Using this technology, the experts produced a list of people who shared DNA with the unidentified killer after uploading the anonymous DNA to the public genealogy website. Thereafter, they used birth certificates, marriage certificates, obituaries, and social media to create a genetic family tree. It was here that the twist got so bizarre that it even shocked Tim and Jeff Slaten. The genetic family tree ultimately led them to Joseph Clinton Mills, who was also known as Coach Joe, as the likely killer who appeared in a photograph on Tim's bedroom wall. The investigators conducted a background check on Mills and found evidence linking him to the crime scene, including the palm print. Garbage bags from his house yielded a piece of medical adhesive tape containing his DNA. Subsequent testing confirmed a match between the unidentified DNA and Mills' DNA. In 2019, Mills was arrested and brought in for questioning. During the investigation, it was revealed that Mills had dropped Tim off at his house on the night of the murder, but returned later to break in through Linda's bedroom window. He sexually assaulted and strangled her with a wire hanger from her closet. Mills pleads guilty to first-degree murder and sexual battery. Mills was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Linda Slaten's family confronts him during the sentencing, seeking answers, but Mills offers no explanation or apology.
I just want to know why, Joe. Why'd you take my mama from me? I love my mama. We was happy.
The Slaten brothers find some solace in knowing that Mills will spend his life behind bars, but are angered by the years of freedom he enjoyed while they suffered without their mother. The story concludes with the brothers remaining close and continuing to honor their mother's memory. They visit her grave and reflect on what life would have been like if she were still alive. The unexpected revelation that their mother's killer was someone they trusted, Coach Joe, leaves them in disbelief and shock. Despite the emotional turmoil, the Slaten brothers strive to live life to the fullest for their mother. Thank you for joining us on this gripping journey through the Slaten brothers' search for justice. If you found this true crime story intriguing and thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content like this.